Hey guys, a few videos back I talked about how most people tend to stay average only because they choose to do the easiest and most average thing. That doesn't mean you were born an average person. You weren't born an average person. But what is easier to do? The thing that takes more effort or the thing with the least resistance? So I was thinking about this and how the theme of today's vlog is to be a creator and not a taker. To me, that makes me think back to when I graduated college. I really still wasn't sure what I wanted to do with my life. Although I did have this fantasy that somebody would just offer me the perfect job and I would never have to fill out an application. I wouldn't have to go cold calling. I wouldn't have to go door to door or driving around interviewing. I just wanted someone to just to give me a job. Like that would have been ideal. But of course, we don't live in fantasy land. I live in reality, and nobody just handed me a job. It's in fact, most of the time I'd say it's never really like that. Even if somebody appears to be this lucky person, they probably put in a whole lot of effort from the get-go. I mean, some of you as students probably do a lot of cool things and it doesn't feel like effort to you because you enjoy doing it. I remember back when I taught in the classroom, I remember my very first year of teaching, I was walking around, like going from row to row, checking on the student work, and I noticed a couple students in my class were amazing artists. They would draw in the margins of their notes, and I was like, that's better than doodling. That's really, really good. And I always liked art, but it wasn't ever something like I did a little bit of art here and there, but nothing like these kids were already doing. These kids had a natural talent. In fact, one of them was a senior in high school, and he actually made this picture for me that I still have today, and I got it framed, and I love that. And all he used was poster board and color pencil, which is incredible. So it really got me to thinking, like, what do we tend to admire most in the world? Do we like people who just take other ideas and make it their own? We tend to like either the original thing, or we like it when people take an idea and recreate it a little bit. Not copying, but people who use that inspiration to make something newer and something better. When it comes to the tutoring business, I didn't really know how to run a business at first. So I thought, well, let me just find some of those online tutoring companies and I'll just sign up and they'll just hand students to me, because after all, that's what the school system did. In fact, the school system was like throwing students at me. Probably there was a time when I had a new student every few days in this particular school system. And I just thought, how different is it now? As tutors, we're sort of always either thinking about or planning to take in more students as we can. So I signed up for VIP Kid, and you are pretty much under their jurisdiction. It's a great way to get started with online teaching, but the payment is pretty crappy for what you end up having to do. Your hours are early or they're really, really late at night because you're teaching students in China. And of course, if you live on this side of the world, if you live in any of the US time zones, well, yeah, that's quite opposite from everybody in China, especially the Beijing area. A lot of people just decide, I don't think I want to create a business. What's that? I'm a teacher. Students just come to me. That mindset just won't work for you anymore. And some of you know this by now, and you're like, yeah, I used to work for those other tutoring companies, but now I get to set my own limits, my own boundaries, and I get to create my own lessons without anybody looking over my shoulder. Since I've gotten more and more interested in video creation, this weekend I actually got to shoot footage at a church event. My church held a prom for our special needs community because a lot of those kids haven't been out and about at all. As a population, they're a bit more protected, and also they were a bit more sensitive to some of the things going on in the pandemic, so they have especially been holed up with their families. And we asked them as a church, hey, would you guys be interested in doing any kind of get together? We would wear a mask and all that, and they were interested, so we actually did it. And I shot some footage for it just for fun, like just to make something. And I knew, I'm like, geez, I'm already making videos for the tutoring business. I don't know if I should make other videos, but I decided I just feel good just creating something rather than just showing up and thinking, what can I get out of this? Think about a time when you had to do something and you did it only because of what you could get out of it. So think about that moment. Now think about a time when you did something different, where you decided, I'm just gonna do something for somebody else, and I don't really need anything back from them at all. In fact, I hope that they don't think they have to reciprocate. I just want them to enjoy this thing that I'm doing for them, or building for them, or cleaning for them, making for them, whatever it might be. Which scenario do you think was better? If you know what that thing is, I'd love to hear about it. So comment below, what was the thing that you've decided to create? And maybe you're not a creative person. That doesn't mean you don't serve other people. I think that's why a lot of us go into the teaching industry, whether we have our own business or we're teaching in the classroom. I think we're all doing it because we just get sick of serving ourselves. We have something that we know not everybody else has, at least not at first, and we want to give that to them, whether it's our knowledge, some of our time, some of our stories and experience. And it's just much more fun that way than just thinking, what can I get? What can I buy? What can I acquire? Because you can't take those things with you when you die. At least that's what I believe. By the way, vlog challenge is going well, except I'm already behind and I have to film another one this week. So keep listening, keep commenting, and I'll see you in the next vlog.